Today on In the Wood Yard, it's a saw day. Here we go. So what I did yesterday, well for me it was this morning, for you it was yesterday, I put all these logs over here, and these are the big nasties. These are the crotchy ones, the crookedy, snaky ones, the bigger ones, the ones that aren't going to be really good for the processor. Some of them are probably okay, but most of this stuff is also wet, which means if you look at the ends, you can see it's real solid, so it will be wet on the inside for sure on all of these. Some of them might be a little dry, but I do know, especially this white oak, which is very new, this will be very wet on the inside. But there's some big nasties down there, as you can see. A lot of crooked ones like this. And I got an order about a month ago for my customer that always buys a semi-load, a full semi-load, 12 full cords of firewood every year for the wood boiler. And they want it cut bigger. They want 20 inches. 21, 22 even is fine. And I do not have the processor back yet. They're doing some improvements on it. And the customer said I could start delivering it whatever I want. Well, I've got the wood now because I just got this. So I'm gonna start cutting. So what I did is I actually made myself a little marker here. I got a 20-inch stick. Look at that, 20 inches. So 16 is right there from there to there. But the overall length is 20 inches. And of course I got some pink tape on it, and I happen to have some spray paint. So I thought I'd go mark them. So what I did is go there, little spray paint. So I started marking these because it's not my usual zip tie cable markers or cable ties. So I got a little bit of paint I had left over from something I did. So I marked some of these. I'm going to continue spray painting the rest of these, and I'll show you how I've done it. It's no big deal, but I'll show you right now. So this is an extra step that I normally don't have to do, but it's not that bad. But this is taking time away from cutting because every log I mark is one less cut I can make. And some of these I'll probably just leave as they are. If they're 21 or 22, I'll just leave them. But I know other guys use chalk. I just happen to have a bunch of spray paint, so I thought I would do this. It's kind of like a Mingo marker, but you got to manually do it. And this is not something that I would normally do, but if you want to mark your wood really precise, this is a good way to do it. I went 20 inches because that way I get the maximum out of the log too, because a lot of times there's going to be a couple inches on the end, and my customer's fine with 22 inches. There, we did those. We did this one. Let's go up here, do one up on top. Be careful on these because I stack these pretty steep here. Because I don't want logs to roll out on me and break a leg. That would kind of end the production for a couple hours anyway, until I get a cast put on and I can go back to work. All right, so I think I got pretty much the front row on both of these marked. That should be good enough for now. Nothing special on the paint, it's just some paint I had left over, but there it is, that's my stick. So I could cut and use the stick if I want, and I might do that as I go. I just didn't feel like putting new zip ties on because I took them off because a lot of them were broke off. And what I do is, for those of you that haven't been around, I take some cable ties, put it on the left-hand side of my bar on my handle on the chainsaw, and then I cut it so that from the bar to the end of the zip tie, cable tie, is 16 inches, and I put some tape on it, some pink tape usually, and that way I don't have to ever measure. I just hold the saw, cut, hold the saw, cut. So it eliminates a stick, it eliminates a Mingo marker, it eliminates chalk, it eliminates a magnetic, the stick-on thing where you got to go and you got to mark them all. You just cut, and it works really good. But this isn't terrible, so. Anyway, we're gonna get cutting. So I've got the three saws. I got the 592, I'll start with that one. Then I got a 572, another 572. That one's a G, of course I won't be using the heated handlebars. I just sharpened them all. Actually, this one right here, the G's got a brand new bar and chain on it. And I also have my woodchuck cant hook log lifter thingy-majiggy. If you don't have one of these, you should have one. They're awesome, especially if you're cutting on the ground, if you don't have a bucking horse, or if you don't have a tractor to lift your logs, which I could do. But this will work. Maybe I'll get the tractor out and lift some logs and cut them too. It's an extra step. It takes a lot of extra time. When I cut, I like to just cut. And this order is for, well, she said, just start bringing it. And it might be 4 loads, could be 6 loads, could be 8 loads. I don't know what it's going to be. Last year it was 8 loads. And I can get 4 face cords or a full cord and a third in the trailer just thrown in loose. And that's what's gonna happen now. In the past, twice I've done this. I've processed it right into the trailer, but I've got time. It's a nice day and she wants the wood now. So I'm gonna get going on it right now, and she's got money to give me. So I think I'm just gonna make money. No, I can't make money. That'd be illegal. Only the mint can do that. I'm gonna earn some money. That's what I'm going to do. So we're gonna get cutting right now. All right, so I'm marking these because I want to cut these, and I have discovered, and you guys probably saw this happening when I was cutting, when you cut on a log pile and the log rolls on you, your mark that you made is underneath. It rolled on me, so that added a lot of extra work. So this is not the best system at all. And I think when I cut again, I am going to have a 20-inch marker with a zip tie or a cable tie on my chainsaw, so I can just cut, because this just takes too much time. I could have had a couple logs cut just doing this. When you got a good saw and you're cutting like a maniac, you do not want to slow down. And I mean, this works okay, but it's definitely not a time saver by any means. And I'm just going to finish marking these right now. There, I got all those marked. So I cut those, threw them off, and you probably saw me when the logs were rolling. The paint marks were going underneath. So frustrating, because then I got to try to roll them over, and it's just, this is not ideal. I mean, this is not ideal. I mean, if you cut 1 or 2 logs, yeah, it's fine. But if you're going to cut a pile of logs, like I intend on doing, truckloads, many truckloads, it's going to cost me way too much time. This is going to add way too much time. Now, the stick isn't terrible because you can hang on to the saw. I'll show you. So if you're cutting with a stick, like a lot of guys do, you can go like this and you can eye it up, and you can just hang it onto the stick, and then you can cut. Then you can eye it up on the end, look at the end again, and then you can cut. There's a rock. And a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll do a sight mark. They go like this, and then they pick a spot, and then they cut. And then they'll pick a spot, look at it, and then they cut. Still, it's an extra step. And what I do, and you're gonna see when I cut the rest of this, is that I'm gonna put zip tie on here. I'll get 20 inches from the bar. So from here to the zip tie where it's mounted on the side, I'll have 20 inches. So all I gotta do is go like this, look to the spot, cut. Go like this, look to the spot, cut. Go like this, look to the spot, cut. So I can continue cutting without having to really mark. I'm sight marking with the zip tie out the side there. And I'll show you that on the next video. That's not gonna be today. It's gonna be tomorrow. You're gonna see that when you come back. Because I thought I was gonna continue cutting. I cut probably, I don't know, it's a little more than a full cord here. Probably about a full cord. Then the rest of this will be about another third of a cord. So that's about what I figured. 4 face cords are full cord, and a third is what it's going to take to fill the trailer. So this pile right here, so I'll finish that. This has got to be split, and the trailer's right there, and I'll be chucking that in there. But that's not going to happen today. I had intention on just cutting and cutting and cutting. I got to tell you, you know, I'll show you over here. The saw was cutting phenomenal, I must say. The 592, there she is, the beast. The 592, and I have just sharpened the chain. I took the rakers down a couple strokes and sharpened it. Phenomenal. It pulled me right into the cut. It was cutting the way they're supposed to cut. It was cutting like butter, and this is red oak and some white oak, and it cut easy. It was like cutting this stuff. It was like cutting pine. So that was awesome. And my intentions were to run that empty and then run those empty, those two, the 572s, on this pile. But something spectacular happened for me, not for you so much. My kids are coming home this weekend, and I was supposed to have another 2 hours before they got there. Well, I just looked on my phone and I got a text. They're already home, so they're more important than you. I am sorry. That is just a fact. I like you guys a lot, but my kids, it's a different thing. I'm gonna go. So that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We're gonna do some splitting and cutting and all that kind of stuff. See you then. Good night, everybody.